Hello, Rob the solitary Inwit here, trying to keep up to date with life, let alone Survivor content. But here we are, I've got it in just before, the day before the next episode airs. Episode 10, whatever it is called, I'm going to call it The Demise of Shan. Shan. We'll get it right, don't need to get it right now. Really good episode we had going on here. Another reason why we need to step back, or production need to step back and go, cool, we don't need so many twists and turns. The players are the twists and turns. And everybody is, that's why Survivor's been going for 41 seasons, for 21 years now. Because people are fascinating. People have so many intricate things about them that are going to come up with unique plans, are going to falter at the wrong moments, are going to make mistakes, make great plays, all this stuff. We don't need the twists and turns, and this is great. Like, again, no twists played here. We have some great strategy, some terrible strategy. We get a lot of good stuff, and ultimately one of the strongest players so far gone. I say that the last 3 episodes has been her demise, and I fell victim to one of my good mates loves reading the edit of a Survivor show, and he kept saying right from get-go that Shan's getting a winner's edit. So I believed him, but this is great to see that that's not the case. You know, the editing is different this year. We're watching the story, and we might be seeing Shan go through, or we might be about to see the rise of Ricard, who could go in and take the rest of the game out. Is it a shame that she went? Yeah, I think it's a shame that she went, but it's her own fault. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, she had everything. She had all the information and chose to do nothing with it. And why she chose to do nothing with it is the reason I've been talking over the past few weeks about the problem and the flaws in her game, is that sometimes someone else needs to have a win. That's it. Straight and simple. Sometimes you got to give someone else credit. You cannot go through the game with every single move. And one of your moves might be to let them have a move. That's equally as powerful. And here we have a situation where you have, because that's really what this whole episode's about. The mistakes Shan makes along the way. These mistakes are all to do with her own ego, her own need for control. You know, she had a nice thing going. She had set up quite a solid 4 that she couldn't hold on to because Shan was also a strong vocal character to this foursome. And she had her number 2, Ricard. Great place to be. You've got a really solid 2, and now you've built up a strong 4 with that 2 separate, which means you have a lot of places to move while keeping everything together as long as you can. Now we get this great moment where Ricard and Shan have that conversation where we know we got to come after each other. We're 1 and 2. We know we got to come after each other, but we're going to fight together until we have to switch. That's obviously the foreshadowing of what's going to happen. But it's really great to have that, to know that, we're going to work together, but this is a game and there can only be one winner. And do I want to take you to the end? Probably not. So I got to get you before you get me. And they know that about each other. Great. But the problem is for Shan, when that is, and is it going to be her control? No, it wasn't. It wasn't in her control, but it didn't matter. Again, being afraid of an idol play, they didn't go straight after her. And maybe Liliana or Liana. I think it's just a 1L. I've been saying Lily. Liana has not, she won't be on board with that. We have another really beautiful moment between those two, that above anything else, the game is irrelevant to their relationship that they've built. Beautiful. And that is a really strong thing to be able to take to the end. You have a strong twosome with Ricard that is a very strategic twosome. Great. Now you have a really strong bond with Liana, which you know surpasses the game, which in turn means you should use it in the game. That's a great thing, because now Liana is going to struggle to go against you. You can go to the end with her very easily, or she'll, you are basically on the front line keeping each other alive. That's how strong this relationship comes across. So you've got two individual people that are strong for you. Once they have that moment together that surpasses the game, that's the moment you cut off the strategic game with Ricard. You don't need that anymore, because you know Ricard's coming for you sooner or later. Liana isn't. She probably would never have. She probably only would have got rid of her in a situation that there was nowhere else to go. You understand that she probably would have come to you to say they want to vote you off. What can we do? How can we keep you there? Which means she becomes more important than Ricard. I don't know. No, I do know. She wanted to be the one who votes out Ricard. The problem we have there is doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have this moment where Ricard's now on the chopping block. Shan comes up with the plan to weaken Shan. Is it going to? Yeah, it could, but you can use that as a power play. She could have gone, yeah, we want to get rid of him. Great, awesome. It's us four to the end. Solidifying that foursome. Really grounding them going to Final Four. Giving Shan some power. I mean, manipulation comes with a little bit of give. People don't do things for you unless you can give them something, give them a reason to do it. And by giving him some power, much easier to blindside him when he's not ready, because now he feels confident. He's pulled off a move. Now he can come for you, but little does he know that you let him pull that move off. You allowed it to happen, giving you more power and giving him that sense of control. When someone feels that power, and we see it time and time again on Survivor. I mean, in Australian Survivor, we have those 2 seasons with Dave. For those of you who haven't seen the Golden God himself, Dave, please watch him. Watch Australian Survivor just for him. Though his All-Star season is great, love it, but it's great to see his first season on Champions vs Contenders, where he has so much power and he's so easy to blindside. I think from memory they pretty much do what they did to oh my god, one of my favorite players of all time, and I've forgotten his name because James, in Survivor China, when James goes home with 2 idols. I'm pretty sure Dave might go home with 2 idols as well, because he is so confident. Give Shan that confidence. Allow him to feel in control, because when he feels in control, it's the easiest to knock him off. And I mean, this was Shan scrambling for control. She wasn't in control. She was trying so desperately to hold on to the control so she could have it her way, so she has the bigger resume. And what ends up happening is pretty simple. Ricard gives Shan the power. That's a great move. They want to get rid of her. I know they want to get rid of her. And Shan's given me all the information. Great. We've just had this conversation that we do have to get rid of each other sooner or later. This is easy for me to get rid of you because it's no blood on my hands. I can let you go. I don't need you anymore. You're done and dusted. That's how Shan should have played that. Giving that power, one little vote, and get him, and then get Shan the next time, because you get rid of Ricard. So what? You're number 2. You have Liana, your new number 2. So you got 2 there. I mean, you can take Xander, you can take Erica, you can take Heather. Leave the 4 alone. Then you've got what you have then is 5 versus 2. You then literally have Shan and Danny. Easy, without an idol. I mean, you're sitting there with 2 idols. Xander doesn't want to have to play his idol. You don't want to have to play your idol. That's another reason to stay together. To trust that you both have this common idol together. We want to use it when we can. Let's work together so no one can screw us over. We don't want to be the idiots that go home with an idol in our pocket. No, we've got to work together. So many avenues she could have taken by allowing Ricard to go home. By trying to do the flip, she exposes herself. One, she needs to be in control again. She gives a lot of information out. That means information is power, and power can be used against you. And this is exactly what happens here. It's a shame to see her go, but you know, it's been 3 weeks of her spiraling out of control to be on the jury. All because she needed everything to go her way. For any future people who want to play Survivor, the number one golden rule is allow someone to have a win. Allow them to. If they think they've done a blindside, one of those, to be able to give someone the chance to pull off possibly the biggest blindside in their mind that Survivor has ever seen, I think is more powerful than actually doing the blindside. Be the puppet master. Allow people to do things because you let them. And then you chop their head off. Great, you did an amazing move. Good for you. You're not here next week. You can't preach your case when you're on the jury. You got to get to the end. Play with people's ego. Play with their need to build that resume. Play with their strength of feeling in control. It's funny, people get high on it. People go crazy when they're in control. And that's key. As soon as you see someone give a confessional where they say, I'm invincible, they're going home very soon, 90% of the time. Let people feel that way. Let people feel invincible. Just incept them. Don't demand stuff. Don't tell them they should be doing this. Put some suggestions out there. If they want that person, hear it. Feel free to throw your other suggestion and people will go, or even go, cool, yeah, they definitely need to go. And we would probably need to look at this person next because they're shady too. That's the second person you want to, that's the actual person you want to vote that night. Well, you get him next week. It's no problem. This episode was lovely and great, and it's so good to see Ricard go, cool, I know I'm potentially going home tonight. I've been told. So I need to win. Great, he wins. Now that he wins, he doesn't have to scramble anymore. They have to, the vote was him. No matter if they knew someone was trying to change it or not, the vote was Ricard. Ricard busts his balls, wins the challenge, beats Xander, and now he has the ability of time. He can sit back and watch people scramble, but actually know, what can I do? What if we do this? What if we take out the person you want to take out? Deshawn, you want to take her out. Now's as good as time as any. She doesn't see it coming. That's a blindside. That's what we're looking for. Every single vote. Not just because they didn't realize they were going, but because they felt a blindside. A true blindside is when, because everyone doesn't think they're going, they feel like their plan's going to work. So sure, they're blindsided, but a true blindside really knocks them off their feet. And it knocks them off their feet because they thought they were in control. Half the people are on the bottom, and all those people on the bottom think they're going home next. Crazy. Crazy that thought that a Heather feels vulnerable. So crazy. Heather's a goat. You take her to the end. She's getting no votes. Crazy. But here we are. These people who should be feeling a little bit more safe don't. And everyone else is keeping them on the bottom. But now we're in that place where I said a few weeks ago, Xander, he can relax. No one wants to go for him anymore. There's bigger targets. He became nothing once his alliance was decimated, once all that happened. The only thing he's got is an idol, and they don't seem to care too much. They'll try and flush it, but they're not obviously doing a very good job at flushing any idols. None have been flushed. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, I think, on this one. It's a bit of a quick one. I've got a lot on. Look at me. I still got this mop of a hairstyle going on that I'll try and fix one day. Who knows? But I look forward to trying to be able to do the other episode much quicker after I watched it, not 5 days after I've watched it, because I can't remember anything other than that moment. Anyway, I'm rambling. I will see you all maybe next week.